You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, we're breaking down She-Hulk Episode 5.
Let's just stop, man.
Otherwise known as the worst episode in the series.
Yeah, let's just get into it, man.
So, initial reactions, like I said, this episode was absolutely horrible. I have nothing good to say about
Coming
it.
right out of the
Like,
cage swinging.
there's literally nothing good to say about it, honestly. Like, I have nothing good. There's no pros to this episode.
I'm just tired, dude, of pointless episodes. What happened in this episode that was truly relevant? Last time I checked, it wasn't cool for Marvel just to throw content at us and be like, by the way, this has nothing to do with anything.
I mean,
not relevant.
The whole point of the plot, which the plot was bad, was She-Hulk getting sued for her name that the public gave her for Titania to have this new She-Hulk non-FDA approved contour out, and that is so stupid. Like the plot is dumb.
The whole time, I was asking my fiance, I was like, did they forget that this same lady who's being praised now for her products is a global icon, apparently, like literally burst through, destroyed a wall in a courtroom, like during the actual hearing,
right,
and assaulted like somebody? Like, were there no repercussions for that? She didn't get arrested.
Why was it like, if she's an influencer, everybody calling for her release, like she breaks in a courtroom and is going to kill people?
But like, we didn't hear anything about that the entire episode, right? There's no mention to, hey, by the way, you remember what happened in episode 1? Nothing.
Yeah, it's just not good. And I'm going to go on the record and say Titania is my single least favorite character ever introduced to Marvel. And I'm just saying that because I absolutely despise her character. I think she is a little worse.
Yeah.
And not because of what she did to She-Hulk, but just how she is.
Yeah.
And the bad writing surrounding her is the reason she is the worst character in the MCU, and I stand by that point.
Okay, I can get behind it. I think Jennifer Walters' best friend is very annoying too. But yeah, I hate Titania with the extreme passion. Yeah.
The literal worst. Like, she could like go away, and I would be ecstatic if I never see her again.
I can get behind that one.
I mean, everything about the show, even the side plot with Pug and Nikki, was not entertaining at all. Like, Pug is like an idiot at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just there for comedic relief.
He's going there. It doesn't make sense.
I think he's hilarious. I really do. I think he's hilarious, and I enjoy his character. But is what he's doing, important? No. Does his character have relevance? No.
I mean, he's literally goes at Nikki's like, hey, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
I need you to come with me and stand in line to get Iron Man 3s. Why can't you go by yourself? I like 2 pairs, one to have for collection and then one to have to wear.
Yeah.
I'm probably doing a horrible impression of Pug, but he's just trying. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Yeah.
And was he trying to ask her on a date? It seemed like that, but apparently it wasn't, because you could only get 1 pair per person. But that whole side plot, which is completely unnecessary. Like, obviously, yes, we know why they did it. We understand, we've seen the reveal at the end. But all that other stuff, they could have left out. Yeah. I mean, literally.
I will say there was a cool Easter egg in the end credits, like during the end credit scene, where you see Pug and Nikki in the Iron Man 3 store or the shoe store, and he's holding his Iron Man 3s. And in the background, you see a bunch of different shoes that have different MCU characters on them. You see Spider-Man shoes, you see Captain America shoes, you see Hulk shoes. And then over in the corner, if you look, you see a pair of Deadpool shoes.
Really?
Really.
Is there actually a pair of Deadpool
shoes? There's a pair of Deadpool shoes that are red with the black eyes. Mm-hmm. And then you see a pair of Cyclops shoes.
Cyclops?
You do. So those are some cool Easter eggs there that they are future characters that are coming to the MCU.
Okay, Marvel.
But that part in the end credit scene is what I liked about the episode.
Yeah,
but
truly.
Yeah, and then of course we see Nikki and Pug go into a boba shop for a fashionista.
Dude, that whole thing, dude, was just so dumb. They're like, by the way, tell them that I sent you, but it's actually a boba shop. But if you press the bar guy, I don't know what they call him, barista, long enough, he'll actually
I know, like,
open up a secret door.
He walks up, he's like,
what is this, man?
I'm here for whatever. And he's like, this is a boba shop.
Just the whole location, like, it just felt like so cheesy. Like apparently they're making like total suits for superheroes, and it just feels like a complete scam.
And I'll bring this up towards the end a little bit more. What superhero would get a suit from this guy? Like,
exactly.
Not realistically.
Yeah, what superhero just walked through a Boba shop?
Exactly.
It just feels weird, the location, at least in the Daredevil show on Disney Plus. The dude that's making it, he's doing it for Kingpin because his wife, Kingpin's gonna kill unless he does it. It's like a darker setting. It's just like one man in a shop. That's a lot more realistic scene than. Like, it seemed like an entire production.
It was.
Like 10 employees.
A whole thing.
It was like, what's going on?
Like, this isn't realistic in LA. And actually, honestly, this is like our first venture on the West Coast in the MCU, honestly? I mean, we had Malibu, California with Iron Man.
Yeah.
But
besides
that, not.
I think so, yeah.
So, like, I'm wondering if this is starting to go towards, like, the West Coast Avengers in a way with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, because, that's a big comic run, so I don't know if it's leading towards the West Coast Avengers there. And we'll start. Well, Ant-Man the Wasp, San Francisco. That's right.
Ant-Man, in San Francisco.
That's right. But yeah, maybe leading towards maybe if possible West Coast Avengers in the future. I don't know. But that was interesting enough to me. But it was just horrible. The whole plot going up and to see this fashion dude for She-Hulk, and then hey, you have to get some poorly made Avengers merch that has Avengers and Avengers with an eye. And
why would the barista make them buy that in order to go back this bootleg stuff? I don't know. It just felt so. It really felt like it was just all straight fashion. I didn't feel like they were actually working for superheroes.
Facts. It was horrible. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then of course they go up and meet this guy. What was his name? The fashion guy. I already forgot.
Luke.
Something like that.
Jacobson. Something like that.
Yeah. And
I mean, he was funny.
He was funny. I do agree. But he was also just a bit odd. And then of course the people, Pug and Nikki that were there, they're like, "Can you make a superhero suit?" And they're like, "I thought you were for Avenger," and then all this.
Yeah, well, she will be. Like the banter was just so dumb back and forth when they got in.
Cheesy for sure. And then of course we go back to She-Hulk and her lawyer case, and then she gets a lawyer, and I do not like her lawyer.
The lawyer was terrible.
She was horrible.
We haven't seen her in the previous episode, right?
No, and she was just
What's
horrible.
Her name? Mallory.
She had a very bland sense of humor, and then also it was just very annoying. I don't know.
She was just a very annoying character. To be honest, she's just no depth.
And then of course they use her dating app to get her out of a court case for her identifying as She-Hulk.
Yeah,
and then all of her previous dates come up, and they're like, "I'm just into She-Hulk. I'm not into Jen Walters." And all this, I
know I ranted about this last episode, but dude, they're trying to make us hate men. Like literally, like
trying so
the
hard.
show isn't capable of writing a good man character.
Right?
Like truly.
Like
they bring all the guys back, and they're absolute jerks, just like they were the other episode.
And it's dumb at this point. And at this point, I'm throwing up in my mouth watching the show.
Yeah,
because I'm standing by the point that episode 1 and 2 were decent. 3 was okay. 4 and 5 have been bad. So at this point, honestly, like it's just. I mean, I know there's just 4 more, but I'm not being optimistic anymore. I think my original prediction was right. I think this show is horrible because honestly, this episode 5, reminded me of after the CW went downhill. Bad kind of episodes. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
It reminded me of CW because CW, of course, was very good in like prime time 2014 to 2016. Very great. And then, of course, every show on the CW went downhill at that point.
Yeah.
And this is what it reminds me of. And I really was in pain watching this episode, if I'm being blatantly honest.
I just don't understand the need for these. At least I feel unimportant, side plots that have been happening recently. I don't think they add much at all to the plot.
Yeah.
I think all the other characters are bland. Like, I don't want to watch a show about She-Hulk and then not see She-Hulk.
Yeah, I feel like
even if it's not that good, I want to see her.
She-Hulk's the only character that's not bland, and that's stupid. Like makes good supporting characters. I mean, when the show had Bruce, it was doing really good and it was entertaining. Bring back Bruce. I mean, it's just,
and I know they will later on.
I know, but so far, the characters that are supporting Nikki, Titania, sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
It's involuntary.
Pug, The only other character that we like, Madison, fantastic.
Madison,
but
shout out.
It's really just not good, and I'm getting upset because of how bad it is.
And dude, I'm just getting like pissed online. I'm just seeing people like defending Marvel like they make no mistakes. Well, you don't understand. See, it's actually a comedy show. But the thing is too, in the comics, She-Hulk is a comedic character.
The comics so profusely
to explain away all the bad stuff. Yeah.
But in reality, the comics are much better, much funnier, much more realistic.
Yeah.
And in this case, the comedy is bland. The comedy is cheesy. I'm not laughing except when I'm laughing at the show.
Yeah.
And you have horrible characters to support your main character, and the main character is starting to fall as well. So it's like,
I mean, you can definitely make the argument too that she could be the least interesting lead character we've seen in one of their Disney Plus.
Honestly,
shows.
I mean,
like really,
no, it is. She is.
You think about it,
because I like Kamala Khan way better.
I like Kate Bishop. Yeah, I like only competition would be Kamala Khan, and she was more realistic.
And I like Kamala way better. I think she, Iman Vellani did a great job in that role. So I do think I agree. She-Hulk is the weakest so far. Somebody who's the main character. I agree, but. So now we got to talk about this ending that everybody was like super hype about, and honestly, I'm mad about. If I'm being completely honest, and that's of course we see She-Hulk getting fitted for her clothes or whatever, which is that was fine.
I was hoping we would see
but they're building up to her suit,
thing,
which is fine. And then of course we see client confidentiality, and of course we see the famed yellow Daredevil mask in a box. And this was dumb to me, if I'm being honest. Yes, it's awesome. It's leading towards Daredevil. But, like, why would he make someone have somebody make his suit in L.A. and not, like, Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah.
Or somewhere in New York? Or also, why would he go to Jacobson knowing Daredevil's character?
Yeah.
It's out of character.
It doesn't make sense at all. I will say, number one, this wasn't a surprise.
Yes.
We know what his suit looks like. We've been teased. We've seen, like, footage of it officially. We know what the suit looks like.
This would have been hype if we had no idea. And I think it would have been more beneficial if they didn't.
Yeah, but well, that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. Like, it wasn't a big reveal at all.
Not at all.
Like you said, it was, dude, it hurt knowing, at least in the more gridded and realistic show in Daredevil, like I said, the dude making his suit is like a genuinely good character doing it, out of care for his wife. Eventually, he turns on Kingpin, builds Daredevil his own suit, like from the ground up. And it's realistic. Matt Murdock is not a fashionistic icon who would go to the top of the line. Like most of the show in Daredevil, he's just wearing like black clothes, to be honest.
Exactly.
So what he has, I don't know. It just doesn't fit with his character.
It does not at all.
He's not built like that.
And it just made no sense to me. I mean, I remember opening TikTok after watching this episode and then seeing like hype. Oh my goodness, that ending. Holy cow, man. That was so cool. We already knew that. It was not that cool.
Yeah.
It could have been
We've
better.
seen the full suit.
Exactly. And we've already seen Charlie Cox or Matt Murdock talk to Jennifer Walters in a scene. I mean, I'm over it.
I know. I was thoroughly disappointed with this episode. And let me say, let's harken back to our last episode. We were like, listen, man, every time we say that the show's gonna redeem itself, it does.
I'm not being optimistic.
Here's what's gonna happen. I mean, I'll see when Daredevil, I assume, will be the next episode. It will be good. It won't be a great episode, but obviously seeing him back will be great. And then seeing Bruce Banner come back at the end will be cool. And maybe the very ending. But in between those lines, it's gonna be bland and mid.
It's gonna be rough.
That's what's gonna happen.
4 more episodes to get through. Let's hope. I hope for the best. Yeah. But I'm honestly done.
Ain't gonna happen. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Here's in the Moment is available on all major podcast platforms. So check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where we be. If you want to keep up with all of our new episodes, with all of our updates, some of our thoughts, head to Instagram at Here's in the Moment, where we post relevant stuff, and TikTok where it's Here's in the Moment with the extra T at the end. As far as our upcoming episodes, we got our superhero news. I think part 10? 10 coming out this Tuesday. Dude, a lot of rumors this week, so we'll be breaking all that down for you. We're excited. That's coming out at 5 a.m.
Yes, and we just want to thank y'all for listening. And if you heard my dog barking, that's my dog. I love you guys, and we love you 3000.